yourself into. And I think a lot of us as black people are just scared to still tell our children that there are a group of people out here that are your enemies.
Join us every Monday at 12 noon for Black by Demand radio show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
White keys only have this bitch jumping.
Okay. If I sit around, hold up. Look. If I sit around, hold up. Yeah. Rebel. Let's do it.
If I sit around, I'ma smoke some more. Wasn't even thinking about smoke before, but I'm in my head, I'm in the bed. Don't know who I am, like I'm wearing a mask. Working mode, tell them where the cash. If you wear the cash, tell them where the cash. If you playing for you, gon' run it back. Don't make promises, but I promise that. Don't promise me, cause I ain't into that. Fell in love with that and got hurt from that. That was all over and the curtains back. Can't see you not noticing that. I'm letting it go, it ain't holding me back. Yeah, I'm on dice, but ain't come for the crack. Drinking with uncle, we only do jack. How I'm alive, I thank God for that. Praying about it, things getting better. Open it up with my name on the letter. What you crazy about it? Saying whatever you shouted.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Another week. This is It Is What It Is Radio. You know how I have to do each and every week. This is King's Porter Forever Friday. Please give my brother Jamel Raymond Bishop a moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. Thank you all for joining us today. Got Miss Day in the building.
Hello, everybody.
Got Max in the building.
Yes, sir.
We got a special guest. A very special guest. Where should I start? Pastor, great teacher, co-worker. She's put in over 30 years in the Baltimore City public school system. She's a positive influence on us each and every day at Commodore John Rogers Elementary School.
Facts.
And in due time, I also found out that I grew up with a family member of hers that I look at as family, so we're family. Miss Williams is in the building.
Hey,
how you doing, Miss Will?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Great.
Good.
We're glad that you can make it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Happy to have you on the platform.
Good. I'm good. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be a part of something positive.
Yes.
As well, because we need a lot of positiveness in the world today.
That's what it's about. Yeah. Tell us what you have going on.
Well, semi-retired. I'm retired after 30-some years, and I'm now working with Experience Corps as a literacy mentor for grades 3. Pastoring my churches was my main goal for retiring, so that I could work more in my church and build it up more, and just to enjoy life. Enjoy life. Yeah.
Enjoy life comfortably.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long have you actually been in the church?
I've been in the church, wow, I went back to church in 1984. In my former church, I was there almost 23 years before I left. And then God was tugging at me to go out and to do more preaching and teaching the people. You know, we always want to stay in 4 walls, but it's not in the walls, it's out there. You know, we do well in the walls when we're behind the walls, but when we go out, what do we do? So my mission was to go out, and sharing this with my pastor, it kind of like didn't sit too well, but I knew what God was saying to me. So, you know, sometimes you have to part ways the way the Lord tells you to, you know, and it's not always easy. It gets hard, but if God called you to it, He'll see you through it.
Right.
You know, you're going to have stumbling blocks, you're going to fall, but He'll pick you up.
Right.
You know?
Gotta have faith.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You got to, yeah.
So I was saying that extensively, you went to Coppin State College.
Yeah.
Home of the Eagles.
Yeah. Go Eagles, yeah. yeah.
Let me ask you, as far as getting into teaching, what drove you to that?
That was the last thing on my mind. My grandmother always said I was going to be a teacher or a doctor. That was the last thing I wanted to do. I got into teaching once my kids started school, and I started volunteering in the school doing when on my days off, because I was working in housekeeping at Belvedere for about 6 years.
Okay.
And I would have like one Sunday and one Monday off. And that Monday, I would go and volunteer in the classroom. And the teachers just started picking up, let me do things with the kids. Because at home, I had worked with my kids those first 4 years of their life. I sat home and bought books and pencils and paper and started in that way. And I got interested through that. It was actually behind my kids. They say kids will draw you to things,
Right.
So, and that's when I got interested in it. And the principal then caught wind of me doing various things and put me in the classroom just to hold the class. Then I wound up subbing in the classroom, and then the counselor caught wind of me and asked me had I ever gone to college. I said, yeah. He said, well, you're going back. He carried me back, and I was like, not me. He carried back, and I went through it, So, yeah.
Okay. You have a favorite subject that you taught?
I like language arts and reading.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah.
Mine too. I'm a language guy. I write. I'm a writer, so
yeah.
I didn't like the math too tough.
Nah, I'm not a math person.
That's good though. I'm happy that you're doing what you're doing, and also you are touching our youth.
Well, I'm trying. I do the best that I can. Let me say that, because sometimes it's hard, but you still have to continue on, and you have to be the positive one, because our kids may not see positiveness anywhere else, because they come to school with bags and baggages. Well, we, in my time, I'm sure in your time, we didn't have to be worried about making sure a little brother, little sister had something to eat and had the right clothes to wear. They come to school now with all of that.
Yes.
Yes. So we they need somebody who's going to be positive with them.
That's leading to my next question. I was going to ask you, like back when I went to school, like you said, we didn't have to worry about our little brothers eating and worrying about if the lights were on and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Like fast forward to now, you may have a child that may have the same clothes on Monday through Friday.
That's right.
Between that generational gap, how do you think we can get it back to it was when we were coming up?
Well, I think what has happened is that society and the law stepped into the household. Okay, they won't always talk about dads not being in the house, but dads was in the house even when the law and society decided what could be done in the household.
Right.
If two people marry, they're the ones who govern that house.
Right.
They say the man is the head, okay? Truth be told, the woman runs the house.
Absolutely.
The woman runs the house.
Absolutely.
Truth be told.
Truth be told.
Okay?
You're right.
Because no matter, he go out there and make the money, but she got to make sure everything else is in order. So she's the order person in the house, But I think, and some of my friends that we often talk about, the disorder of our politicians and lawmakers, that they have come in and crumbled the family morals.
Yes.
Morals are missing. Children don't have morals today, and it's not all of them, but it's a good part of them.
Yeah.
I could walk in the classroom, and I often say to my students, and even now volunteering, I can tell the students who are raised right and who are not, and those who have strong backgrounds and those who don't. And those who have those strong backgrounds sometimes want to follow the weaker ones.
Right.
So you still try to keep them where they belong, and when you meet the parents, you can always tell, where the fruit fall from.
Yeah. I was just saying that I said this today, we have disrespectful parents raising disrespectful kids.
Yeah. And the parents are younger. The parents have gotten younger. Around about my 5th or 6th year of teaching, that seemed to have been changing, where you would see younger parents and even grandparents. You couldn't tell the grandparents from the parents.
You're right.
And the parents is out there doing what they want to do, and the grandparents are struggling trying to raise these kids, and they don't know how to do them because of what has happened in society today. And it's not that it's just happening; it's just open. because it's been going on for the longest time.
Yeah.
You know, the drugs, when I was in school, the drugs was going on. Girls was having babies. I used to sit and look out the window. What they doing on the wall over there? And I was like, oh, 9 months later, I found out what they were doing on the wall over there, you know? So it's a breakdown, and if it's not done at the top, it trickles down.
Right.
And the brokenness that comes in. And it's sad that our children are the ones that are broken.
Right.
Broken homes, broken children.
You're right.
And the only way we can to repair that, and I don't want to get religious, but if the church would open its doors and be the family that the church used to be. See, the church is not family anymore.
You're right.
It's not family anymore. You know, it's looking good, preaching whatever makes the person shout. It's not all about the shout. It's about grabbing them with the heart.
Right.
You know, if you get it in the ears, let it go to the heart. That changes things.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
It's about the message.
Yeah.
And listening to the message.
That's true.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, we got to go to a break. We will be right back. Don't go nowhere. This is It Is What It Is Radio.
Like the one thing you always gotta remember is people gonna try to project their insecurities onto you. But you can't listen to what them niggas saying. You gotta get out here and do your shit regardless. You gonna do what you love for the rest of your life anyway. So why not turn that shit into something? Be a man of everything you say. This shit bigger than me, man. Like yeah, I'm good and all that, but you know what I mean? I ain't shit without y'all. So no matter what you up to, go hard. Don't matter. Can you imagine how I really having nothing is? Stomach growling, you ain't got no food in the fridge. Surviving on a jail diet of water and bread. No father figure, that's cause my father did. Mom's bringing different niggas in and out the crib. No money, so you seen it's less than all your friends. But it is just because
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin' Street? Girlin' Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. And
exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature. And I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do. And I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular. It's getting that person money. It's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
With that, I'm sorry, let me turn this down. I'm sorry. Do any of y'all have any questions for Ms. Williams?
Not right now. You done kind of asked me.
Oh.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
I mean, I didn't want to feel like I was.
No.
No.
You right where I'm at.
Yeah, you was having a conversation with her, but I just wanted to kind of agree with everything she said.
Turn your mic on.
One of the biggest points, I think, going back to the church, going back to the family atmosphere. I remember when I was like I was young. You feel me? And I was staying with grandmother, and every Sunday, no matter what the deal was, what was going down, Tuesdays and Sundays. Tuesdays was Bible study. Sundays we went to church, and everybody on the front row was my aunt, was my uncle. Like I'm talking like this was real. I got in some trouble outside the church one time, like playing around with my friends or whatever. I had one of the guys. I ain't never even met this man a day in my life. Grabbed me by the collar, pulled me back in the church, and was like, "Sister Adams." And my grandma looked at him, "Handle your business." And that's when we got the little love taps on the back, and like that was that. Like it wasn't no, I'm about to go call my brothers and them, and that man shouldn't have touched me. It was like that was a true, genuine vibe. Like, and if you know me and know anything about me, like I didn't play the churches at all. Once the first chance I got away from it, like sadly, like my fondest memory of church, I'm in church and my cousin conned me to steal out the basket. Like he told me that it was a good thing for me to take something out the basket and put it in my pocket. Like my grandmother gave all us dollars. She used to take me and my 7 cousins to church every Sunday. Gave everybody $1. Pass it down, pass it down. I'm on the end. My older cousin, like, when the basket come around, go ahead, grab yourself something, boy. The Lord wants you to have it. So I'm probably saying, I told you this was real, like this was real, and I'm probably 10, 9, 10ish. I see my cousin put his dollar in his pocket, right? The plate coming down, it's me, then my other cousin, and the dude on the end, the usher is waiting for the plate to come back, right? So the plate come down, my cousin takes something out, slide in his pocket real fast. So I'm like, oh, this really will go down in church, right? So I grabbed it, put the $1 my grandmother gave me in my pocket, and I grabbed the 5 out the basket, right? Put it in my pocket. Gave it away. We get in the car, and we get in the car. My grandma's like, my uncle, y'all hungry? Y'all want something to eat? It's like, yeah. You know, your mom's always hits you with you got McDonald's money? And my grandma was like, you got McDonald's money? I was like, yeah, I sure do. She's like, where you get it from? I'm like, the Lord gave it to me. My grandma turned around and was like, who else the Lord give money? Everybody go in their pockets, pull out, they balled up 1s and 5s, and my little cousin then took some quarters out the bottom of the jar, and my older cousin just sitting off in the corner like he knows it's all about to come back to him. So my grandmother was like, come on, get out the car. Y'all got up, we went back in the church. She made us give it all back, and we cleaned the whole church up. The whole church, bro. And my grandmother left. She left, and I remember the pastor was sitting up there, sitting there doing this thing, you know, reading through his Bible, whatever, and we cleaned up probably until like 9:30, 9:45 that night. And we had to go home and clean up at home, and woke up and went to school on time the next day. Like that was the vibe and the atmosphere. Like now everything is so tunnel vision. Everyone's so tunnel vision in their ways. Like, all right, cool, I know that this is my family, my immediate family. This is who I need to take care of when they're around. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to branch out and help him or help her, or I'm not even going, I see you hurting and struggling, like, I'm going to pull my phone out and record you before I ask you, do you need some help? Like, this is real life stuff, and this is another big part of that problem. Like, human contact and emotion is gone. Like, it's fading away. Like, it's incidents where I send a text message and I get a phone call back, like, dang, why you being so smart? Like, whoa, it wasn't even like that, champ. Relax. Like, that's how you received it. You get what I'm saying? And then whereas though I'm having a conversation with you, some people don't know how to react in conversations properly anymore. Because you get what I'm saying? Like, through a text message, I can send you an emoji like, oh, you make my heart warm. But when we talking and I lean in to give you a hug and you react like, oh, what you doing? Like, people actually do that now. So that, I feel like me being a part of this younger generation, yes, I'm only 20 years of age. Me being a part of this younger generation, we lost all of that. Absolutely. And my grandmother was the one who always put that back and was like, nah, go over there and watch TV with your little cousins, or, you know what I'm saying, go color the page with your little cousin. Matter of fact, no, get up and go outside. My grandma used to make us go outside, like, go outside. Like, now kids, They don't go outside on their own. You get what I'm saying? They go outside when they see something on Fortnite or YouTube or something like, oh, I gotta go outside to go try that.
That's it.
Kids don't do that anymore. Like, and it's crazy because I tell my nephews all the time. My nephew told me probably last week. I was like, yeah, man, you got your report card back, and the deal is you get a good report card. We go get him something that he been asking for, right? So he like, I'm like, yeah, what you want to do, man? You want to do? It's fine with Saquan. Can we just go to and pick up a book from the library, right? I got my nephew a library card as soon as he was able to. You know what I'm saying? So he got a library book and whatever, and he come back to the crib and he into the comic book. You know, quick read, a lot of pictures, a lot of colors. He finished the book, come back out. He's like, oh, guess I'll stay in the house for the rest of the day. I'm like, nah, man, we about to go outside, bro. Let's go play football or something, bro. And when we got outside and we playing, we start seeing other kids come outside, like on his office block. And my nephew like, Uncle Saquan, who's that child? I'm like, he just came out the house next door. And then his mom's like, oh yeah, we saw your nephew. We didn't know if he was allowed to come out or whatever. I'm like, yes, he can come outside. Bring all the kids outside. Before we know it, we had 10 to 15 kids outside playing football with us, man. And it's just like, people don't take the initiative to do that anymore. Like you said, babies raising babies, and it's scary. I have a friend who's 22 and she's on her 3rd child, and it's crazy. Like this is real life, and I feel for these people. I feel for them all the time, like all the time. Like I thank God that I was put in a place where I was blessed and given up other opportunities. Granted, I had to leave my situation and look at it outside in, but that's what I needed. Because now I can tell you, like, okay, we've been living wrong all this time, bro. I was shown how to live right. Let me try to show you how to live right. You know what I'm saying? Let me try to install that family feel back into it. Like now, when I was adopted and I moved in with my adopted family, we had dinner every night at the table. The first year, no. And let me tell you how crazy it was. The first year, and I can call any of my family right now, they would tell you this. The first year, they made a plate for me every night, and I never sat at the table and ate. I went in my room. I'm in my room doing whatever I'm doing, and as soon as I heard the kitchen get empty, I go downstairs. You know what I'm saying? Look in the closet. Oh, I'm gonna get these before they gone. But it's so crazy because I was in that hood mentality where it was nobody but me in the house. My brother and sister, my adopted brother and sister will come over, sit down, have dinner with us, and then leave. They did that to create that family feel. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm 8 years in living with my adopted family. I don't even allow them not to have dinner now. So now it's like, oh, we on vacation at the other spot? Oh, come on. Everybody put their phones up. We got the phone basket. You know, Mom Duke's got the rule. Your phone ring first. If we out, you pay for it. Like, that's the rule with the family. Like, now when we at this table, we are humans. We are connected. Like, this is what it is. And now I think that played a big part on me growing. And I think that's why I'm where I am mentally now as a youngin'. Versus where I was probably 5 or 6 years ago, because it was a whole 360 in 5 or 6 years, what people fail to realize. But I see it. You get what I'm saying? I see it. And this is why I chose to do the stuff that I chose to do with children, because it's like, yo, if someone showed them that these opportunities are here, and we stay with them through the whole process and don't let their hand go, we gonna create doctors, lawyers, millionaires. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy that people just became 5-minute people and it became a thing. Like, I remember we was in school and we used to be like, we used to call a teacher 5 minutes. Like, we was like, yo, we can make her quit by the end of the week. And come Thursday, Friday, like, yo, there she go. Like, I'm like, yo, like, what?
Hey, y'all, we gotta go to a break, y'all. Don't go nowhere. We will be right back. Please like and share the show. This is It Is What It Is Radio.
That's crazy.
For shiny things, I can't allow this blasphemy. It's blasphemy. Why would you treat yourself like that? We didn't come this far just to fall right back. I'm from
rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
We're back. No, hey. This is what it is radio show. No, listen, I'd rather them catch us about what we're talking about off air this week than last week.
Oh, that's a big thing.
Last week.
It was.
Hold on, she lost her train of thought. What you was about to say?
Oh, I was getting ready to go into everything to talk about. I can still remember it.
Oh, all right.
Did you want to talk about last week?
I mean,
it's the,
go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm gonna let you talk about it.
And it goes back to actually what I'm getting ready to talk about. So I'll chime it in there somehow. But just going off of what you said, I was listening to, I don't know if you all know Sarah Jake Roberts. I listen to her all the time, and she did a sermon, and she was talking about how it is important for us now to be outside. Like, it's no longer like church, you know, it's church, but it's time to be a kingdom. And like you said, go outside the church, but it takes us, you know. You don't have to wait for someone else, wait for the mayor, the delegate to, like you said, get these children involved, talk to them, and really try to not get in their minds, but show them that there's a different way. And that, you know, goes into some things that I really want to do, because I feel like what lacks now is love, you know, care, deep concern. And we talked about this once on the show before about how you don't have the neighbors anymore that go outside and, you know, see you doing something and tell you, you know, you're not supposed to do that. You don't have that anymore. And we were talking about how that bridge, like how it kind of just gapped. And then even going into last week, a little bit about the radio station, I was talking to the young man, and I'm a millennial. But I mean, we're millennials, but I do think that I have a little old soul. So as a millennial, I think even it's my job to speak to younger generations, because they are a future. In the incident that happened last week, it seemed as though they weren't as accepting of what the older generation had to say. Because not to call you old Ty, but you know, Ty was here and Dad was here, and they were basically giving her some advice, and it just seemed it was like a disconnect, because not wanting to listen. And that's something that you see very common nowadays, that the younger generation, it's like they don't want to listen, they don't hear nothing at the old. So now my thing that I've been trying to figure out, okay, the approach, how are we approaching them? Sometimes, not say stooping to their level, but you got to find a way to kind of get them to hear, because they don't want to hear it. They think that they know everything. And my biggest thing is that I just feel like every child needs to know that they have a purpose, because they don't get told that.
That's true.
Anymore.
That's true. Sometimes you have to meet them right where they are. If that's what they want to do, that's where you have to meet them at.
Right.
If they want to out-talk you, talk. Go ahead and talk. I'm gonna talk right at you while you were trying to out-talk me. I'm gonna talk at you, because I want you to hear what I have to say, as well as you want me to hear what you have to say. And being a parent of a millennial, I do believe that you all have the greatest purpose, because of the generation change. There was a shift that happened, and when you get back to the church wanted you all to sit down and be seen. But that shift has changed, and the shift is that you have to be heard. I remember when my daughter was growing up, she used to tell me all the time, and I don't know why she stopped, because she still need to do it sometimes. So she used to tell me, she said, "Ma, don't say nothing. I just want you to listen to me." And that's her right to tell me that. You know, today kids, they don't want to do that. They want to do this. And in the school system, just the other day, I was telling a little boy, I said, "Do you hear me talking to you?" "Yes, but no, but." Nope. I'm talking, so listen, you know. But they do have a purpose, and they need to understand that they just can't keep running and not know their purpose. Because if you keep running, you're going to lose your purpose. Because your purpose is with your soul. When you lose your soul, you have nothing else.
Nothing at all. You know? You're definitely right.
Yeah, that's true. You know, yeah. And it's not about being religious and being in church. You have to know your soul from the inner self. You know, if you don't know who you are from your inner self, then you're lost.
Just lost.
And that's what's going on today, though. There's a lot of lost souls wandering.
Lost and damaged.
Yo, and it's crazy because this is say the disconnect from our generation and the older generation. I see even I was just waiting for a short period of time where I took everything that the older person told me or was trying to tell me as an insult. I took it as an insult. Like I was just like, and I noticed that after I stopped doing it, I noticed that with a lot of my guys, like it'll be small things like, my man, you shouldn't wear your shirt like that, tuck it in, right? And I was like, yo, why you telling me how to dress? Like, you don't know what you talking about? Like, and then like it came to a point where I really realized like, yo, they've been here twice as long as you, bro. Like they probably did what you trying to do 1,000,001 times. You get what I'm saying? They probably sat and talked to the people that you want to talk to. You don't know this. So how about you buckle up and listen and take some of this stuff that works for you and make it work for you. You get what I'm saying? Just because he doing it and he doing it like that, take what he giving you and go, yo, all right, cool. It worked for him like that. Now let me try to put it with my style and my swag and do it like that. But a lot of us, a lot of my generation, they don't want to hear that, bro, because we feel like we got to be the newfound wave. Like we feel like we got to create something new and make everyone follow us. Like it's bad, bro. Like in real life, we want the followers, right? And in a virtual life, like we want 1,001 followers on Instagrams, and in real life, I want you to dress like me, talk like me, and rock it like me. If you ain't doing it like me, stay away from me. And that's crazy because the world was not built like that. You know, they called America the melting pot, bro, for a reason. We had immigrants coming in through Dorsey Hall, Prairie Land, like all in upstate New York. All these immigrants was coming in, and we all got mixed in together with different styles, different repertoires, like different languages, and this is how this stuff happened. But now we in a place where, like, all right, cool, I did it first. Y'all gonna follow me? No? All right, stay away from me then. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it hurts, yo. This week, I seen 3 people with the same outfit on, like around my age. Like, it was the same fit, bro, like from the shoes to the shirt. Like, and it's like, yo, that's crazy. Like, I wonder how many people my age got this in their closet. Because I ain't even gonna lie to you, I had the shoes he had on in the closet. Like, and I was like, yo, hold up, I hope we ain't got them pants in the house. Like, it is what it is. We took technology and turned it into a bad thing. We turned it into a bad thing. This was supposed to be cutting edge, like this gonna make the world better. We gonna talk to people in China.
It separated us.
They poured us all
because
apart.
We don't have that closeness anymore. And I can remember an incident. I was visiting with some family members, and we were all sitting in the living room together. The TV was on, and the little one was down there with his, and all when you looked around, everybody was sitting around, had either a laptop, telephone, or computer or some type. Even the little one, you know. And when you look around, you was like, the TV is playing, but nobody's talking to each other.
Facts,
everybody's on
their phone.
On the phone, the TV is playing. So why's the TV playing? And nobody's paying attention to it, you know. And that has come into the family also because, and speaking of kids, you know, in school, I used to go to the dollar store, excuse me, and buy jacks, bat balls, and they were like, "What you gonna do with that?" I said, "I'm gonna teach you how to count."
I remember that. The
I just learned how to play jacks.
You did?
I just learned how to play jacks probably 2 months ago.
They don't even know how to jump rope.
Might have bring that back.
Hold on, wait. Just to make sure you're on the right page, it's a joke when you bounce the ball and you start to yeah. I just learned all that coming up. That ball. No.
What's that?
Oh yeah, the pickup. So you throw sticks. You gotta pick up the sticks. Yeah.
I did that. I'm down.
Yeah, but they don't do that anymore. And I would go to the dollar store and buy all that stuff and teach my kids math and reading. You know, the pickup sticks, you got different colors. So okay, if it's red, spell red for me. If it's blue, spell blue. They don't know how to do that. They don't know how to count no more. With everything is on the computer. You hit the button, they don't have to remember nothing. You know, and it's gotten to the point where it's really getting sad because there's no true communication. Just the other day, it was a car I parked outside, and the other car somehow or another, I don't know if he was speeding or whatever, but he hit him in the back of him. Okay, so a lady across the street, she came out and she was picking up the parts of the car. You know, so then I asked her, I said, "Is he okay?" She said, "Yeah." She said, "It's a shame that people just come through this block. The street sweepers don't come through no more and whatever. So I said to her, I said, well, why we have to wait for them?
Right.
Why can't we just come together and get the kids who are in the neighborhood, give them a broom and a bucket,
and clean them,
give them some comment. That was on Saturday when I grew up. All the kids in my block, we had a bucket. We cleaned them little marble stone stuff. You got a quarter, you were rich.
I remember that. I had to clean
steps
back in my day.
You swept out, you know. Yeah, you kept neighborhood clean. We didn't have no street sweepers.
Right.
So I mean, we need to get back to the value basics. You know, teaching. Teaching starts in the home first.
Right.
It starts at home first. You know, 2, 3 years old, pick up your toys, put them away. You know, so you know, and to have a believe in yourself. You gotta have something within you to believe in.
True. How the Baltimore City public school system is, and how they say the schools, like far as test scores are down and stuff like that. I was thinking about this a long time ago. How do you feel about this? You know how this generation gravitates around music, right? I think personally they need to implement more music into education. You need to cater now to you got to make it fun. And to be honest, when you get to high school math class, you can't do geometry, trigonometry. Tell you what you got to do. You got to take it down to grams, ounces, quarter ounces. Why? Because it translates to what's going on.
That's true.
Hey, while you on that, do you remember the first? I'm gonna let you get right back there. Do you remember the first time we met and we talked? We was in the hallway at Commodore, and I told you the whole story about how I got adopted or whatever, right? And I had to take a placement test in order to get put in my correct grade. It was a 2-page placement test, and you know it had biased questions as all the tests. If little Timmy had 6 hens and he lets 3 go, like, ain't no Timmy in my hood, ain't no hens in my hood, ain't no horses in my hood. There ain't none of that in my. I ain't got no barn. My grandma always told me shut the door because you don't live in the barn. Like this, I don't have that stuff, right?
Right.
My math teacher, the guy who adopted me, he showed me the test that Monday and was like, all right, this is a test you gotta take tomorrow. You know what he did when I came back to school? It was broken down and you have 3 junkies in the corner. I passed that test on the 8th grade level. On the 8th grade level.
He put it in your language.
Yes, and every other thing that I had in that class, I struggled with.
Right.
I struggled with. When I tell you it was questions on there, it takes you 10 minutes to get from Pennsylvania and Mosier to the bottom of McCullough Homes. How long would it take you to get from McCullough Homes to Johns Hopkins Hospital? Like, if you would have told, and like, I'm answering these questions correctly. I remember when I got this test back, I'm like, nah, yo, this ain't mine. He was like, no, that's yours.
That's yours. Right.
No, that's yours.
Right.
And yeah, yo, but that's solid.
We need to make it more fun because, I mean, I've sold drugs, and some of the guys I've been on the corner with have been geniuses. The only reason they didn't go to school is because they couldn't relate. But he knew how many grams was in the ounce.
Yeah.
So, and like a lot of guys, they're mathematicians. They're smart. So it's just like we need to get something to bring them back into wanting to learn, I believe. But how can it be done?
That's a $1 million question because even though I'm not fully teaching anymore, I still have teacher friends. And I have from the very first school that I taught at, it's like 2 or 3 of us. We talk constantly about what needs to be done and the changes that has happened. In order to make it fun, one thing, it has to be on the child's level. See, the schools, people, and I get into debates with people, and then I start backing off because they want to know and they haven't been in the classroom. Okay, you have to be in the classroom to know the changes that have gone through education in school. The curriculums they buy into, and for 5 years they only use it for 2.5.
Right.
Okay. If the kids are not taught right where they are, and you want to compare them to the national whatever it is they want to compare it to, they're never going to pass it because it's set higher for them.
Right.
Okay. One year I remember I was teaching, and the city literally, the system literally failed, excuse me, all first graders. Okay, and had them to go to summer school, and I volunteered like I had a hole in my head to teach that summer in July. Okay, what we taught for 10 months, we had to get to those kids in 1 month.
Right.
and they were supposed to pass, okay? The same standardized test they took at the end of the year, they would have to take at the end of July, right? Now, they gave us a score, but when the test scores came back, the test scores are higher than what we thought. We thought we were good. The kids passed, man. They did it.
Yeah.
We saw that test score. We was like, what is this? What happened?
Right.
That's not the score that you gave us.
Wow.
So, you know, I mean, and it's all good, like things change. It's all good. Nothing's wrong with change, but are you meeting the kids where they are? Because if you look at the system now, if you look at the world culturally is changing.
Yes. Yes.
Culturally is changing. Okay? So you have to look at culture. You have to look at communities. You have to look at the home. And you definitely have to look at what government standard is.
Right.
Because all of that comes together.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
Definitely.
That's a solid point. With me just leaving high school in 2017, like just leaving fresh out of school, like my senior year, we took it and like the joke was like on our senior search, school is not about learning, it's about passing. Like that was our senior quote. Like we got backlash from that, and of course, you know, this big old head of mine came up with that statement, right? And I remember when I wrote it down and I put it in as because you know everybody could put in their T-shirt design for senior T-shirts, but I had more of a following at school. If I would say, like, more people knew who I was because I did a whole lot of stuff in the school, and I already knew, like, off rip, I'm like, yeah, somebody gonna see this T-shirt and be like, oh yeah, Maxwell made this, we need to put that on now, right?
Right.
And probably a week later, they was like, yeah, bro, your shirt got picked or whatever, and then like everybody in my inner circle took it as a joke, like, yo, that's funny, yo, it's real, but it's funny, right? We go to school, that's 3 people from the Board of Ed at our school. I remember we wore our senior T-shirts that whole week, right? We had people signing whatever.
Yeah.
They called me, my guy Alan, and the guy Greg down to the office, right? And was like, I remember, and this was right before our superintendent of Howard County got booted out for doing whatever she was doing, right? And she looked at us at a little table, something like this, looked at us and was like, is that how you guys really feel? And like at first, I'm in the office, you know, like, my God, like we in trouble. I'm Snapchatting, like, oh, I'm in the principal office, like, right? And she was like, is that how you really feel? My principal was one of my great mentors now, Mr. James Lamont. Straight hard-nosed African-American guy, like running one of the best schools in Howard County for his numbers, child behavior, all that, best numbers across the board in 2017. He was like, nah, man, let her know. And like, he went from like, when he said that, he was like, not Mr. Lamont, he was James. Like, he leaned back, poured the suit open, was like, no, man, let her know.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I mean, I haven't learned anything in the last 3 years that I can go outside and apply to the real world right now. And probably 3 weeks later, it was a select group of singers. They called 15, 16 singers down to the small auditorium. And she was in there, 2 of her right-hand followers, writing down everything we sang. She was like, what classes do we need? Boom, I think we should have this class. What class do you think will help the next generation? Writing all this stuff down, bro. I went back, you know, I still work in Howard County part-time. I go back to Howard County, bro. Do you know they have a financial literacy class now? Now, because of us, bro. And I never knew that. They have an automated mechanic program where kids in the 12th grade, as long as all your obligations and mandatory classes are filled, you get two class periods out of your school day to leave school campus and go work on real life trades. So when I went back, I was like, yo, it's crazy. And of course, I had some youngins who were still in school that was coming up, right? And that was coming up and graduating behind us. And one of my guys, my little brother Salim, was like, yo, I'm going to auto mechanic diesel class from 10 to 12. Right. And now I know how to put a transmission in, yo. This is real. And I'm like, yo, it's crazy. Like, this is what we needed, son. And it's helping and it's working. And that same idea and that same energy and that same push need to be taken from different places and brought here. Right. Just what it is.
I didn't mean to cut you off. We got to go to another break. We will be right back.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run. The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, one with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right.
They were going into that National Series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game. That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a negative 65, which is just horrible. So when you have well, let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that you're.
Then your average game you're losing
by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like negative 65, this early in the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
The pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here. I mean, the team ERA is 4.70, which is 26th in the league. They have 126 walks allowed. They acquired Jared Weaver in the offseason, and he really has not panned out. He's off to one of the worst starts in any of the pitchers in 2017. He's 0-4 with a 6.05 ERA. In May alone, he already has 12 earned runs. 12 earned runs in May. And, another one of their pitchers, Clayton Richard, he's 2-4 with a 4.34 ERA. And, in May, he has 6 earned runs and 12 innings pitched. So they're not pitching well. And on top of that, they are also not batting well.
Right. But it kind of sucks because Manuel Margot is doing pretty good. His the past few at bats, his last.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
Far into this unknown to find who we really are. Crash into something new and take a break from our broken heart. Talk with the hip, tell me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby, try not to say too much.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
What we got? You gotta talk about that. We're back, yo. We're back.
Hey, hold up.
Sorry.
Before we go back into this,
we go into that
young man, Zion Williamson, man.
Yeah.
He is a man amongst boys. Listen, quickly. Yo, he went up, shot the free throw, right? Misses the free throw. There's 7 other people at the line. He takes the ball and dunks over all of them and then turn around and look at their bench and go, not enough. Don't do that to me.
Not enough. I got Duke winning it, though. I'm a Carolina fan.
North Carolina, but no, let's get back to the real situations at hand. North Carolina going to take it, though.
I was going to ask, I know, Pastor Williams, you had some stuff that you wanted to share. I didn't know what you had prepared to kind of just talk about, or we just kind of touched on it.
Well, it goes with all that, but some friends and I I'm always talking with some friends in ministry and church, whatever, school. But we were trying to come up with some ideas as to frame where the kids could recognize who they are. All right, I mean, you see them, but do they see themselves? And we came up with this one word called brim, and it's entitled "Fill them to the brim." Okay, and meaning that each letter of the word brim stands for a word. One is the B stands for believers or believe and be builders. Okay, if we teach them to believe in themselves and to build from themselves, then they will do it. But we have to be the examples.
Right.
We have to believe in them, and then they have to see us as doing what we say for them and to build. See, today people don't want children or young people, let's say young people, from the ages of when they could start school to 30-something. Okay, they're builders. You know, you're going to go through being a child and a adolescent, a teenager, a young adult. In your 20s, you're still trying to find yourself. In your 30s, you're almost there. By the time you hit 40, you should know. Okay, so you got to believe. If you believe in something, you're going to fall for nothing.
Right.
All right. So the foundation, I got to get back to it. The foundation is the word of the Lord, and that's just point blank in the period. If they don't have a foundation, home and church, they don't have anything. Okay, the schools you really can't count on anymore. We've been talking about that. But if you teach them to believe and to find who they are from inside, and to teach them to build from inside, then what's coming on the inside is going to come on the outside, and the world will see it. You know, we talk about this little light, that we want our light to shine so that everybody can see it. Well, teach them to believe. Teach them to build. Teach them to be relevant. Being relevant is a good thing to be today. Don't just be following the leader. Right. Okay, all right. You know, I heard you talk about your T-shirts, and then when they got out there, you were called into the principal's office. Okay, you made yourself relevant, and you had some help to come being relevant with you. So they proved the point by doing what? Changing their curriculum. So that's being relevant. They're building, and they believed in what they believed. They told me, said, "Is this what you believe?"
That's a fact. That's factual.
Proof.
Right. Definitely.
You know. So you want to. So and guess what? We're losing integrity. We're losing self-worth.